Hi, everyone. I'm Congressman Josh Gottheimer. I very proudly represent New Jersey's 5th Congressional District. Thank you so much to Robert Abbott and the organizers of Building Bergen for allowing me to participate. Very thrilled to be part of this event. I'm looking forward to when we can get together in person soon enough, but I'm honored for this opportunity to join you today. Building Bergen is about bringing together Bergen County's businesses and community leaders to discuss interests and concerns from our business community. And we've got a really vibrant community, and I'm just so grateful. I'm here today to answer some of your questions and update you on my efforts at the federal level to help our businesses, local organizations, restaurants, venues, and local communities here in the 5th District, including information on the latest COVID-19 emergency relief package. I know how greatly this crisis has impacted your businesses, so many of our small businesses in New Jersey, as well as so many organizations and all those who work in New Jersey. And I know this has been a tough time for so many of our families. I hope you are all safe and healthy. And I'm so glad that we're having the chance to get together to talk about these issues because I know it's affected you so personally. I want to make sure everyone knows about what resources and federal investment we've clawed back to New Jersey through these new relief packages. And I want to go through some of the questions you've had. There was a question about my predictions for the business environment for Northern New Jersey for 2021. In a word, we'll be focused on recovery. Goldman Sachs recently predicted that the nation's economy will grow by 6.8% this year, and the Congressional Budget Office has projected similar growth. With a vaccine rolling out, more than 6.8 million doses administered in New Jersey and hundreds of millions nationwide, we can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Widespread vaccination is the only way we're going to get out of this crisis, and additional federal investment is helping expand the supply of vaccines and ensure we're reaching lower income and rural areas as well. The second question was, for which sectors of the economy do I expect will thrive in 2021? I believe personally that pent-up demand from the withdrawal of social distancing guidelines and getting back to normal life will bring some industries roaring back quicker than others. We want to make sure that all sectors of the economy thrive and not leave any sector lagging as we enter the economic recovery. We've been so focused, of course, on smaller businesses as well. That's why I fought so hard for PPP loans, not just once, but multiple PPP loans and EIDL loans. ERTC as well, and why in the latest package we fought for extra support for restaurants and live venues, which have also been hit so hard. And I'm obviously very, very concerned about the impacts there, and want to make sure that as many of our restaurants and live venues can get through this, working together. You know, I am one of the things that has been clear is that some restaurants have been able to hold on, but we've lost nearly a third of our small businesses, including nearly 30% of our restaurants. And that's devastating for so many entrepreneurs and families. And it's obviously affected so many people who work in these restaurants and establishments and all of our businesses. And that's why we fought hard for extra unemployment help and direct checks and food and support for families, not just to mention, of course, the vaccines, which I'm so glad are getting out in people's arms and getting administered and make sure that we do everything humanly possible to stay on top of that and ahead of any mutations. As for what actions the federal government is taking that will help businesses in Northern New Jersey, Congress passed relief packages this past December and in March, which include funding for small business assistance, including specific programs to assist some of the hardest hit industries, such as restaurants and live venue operators. Congress passed the PPP Extension Act of 2021, as I mentioned, which would extend the deadline for the application to the federal Forgivable Loan Paycheck Protection Program to May 31st, 2021. In the most recent relief package, we included restaurant and live venue grants. As I said, $28.66 billion nationwide for the new program administered by the Small Business Administration to offer assistance to restaurants and bars hit hardest by the pandemic. The Restaurant Revitalization Fund and $1.25 billion in grants for shuttered live venue operators. The bottom line is, whether you're talking about restaurants or making sure that we fought for broadband for our kids and PPP and not just PPP, but PPE and support for our schools. All these things are critical to an economy running, and childcare as well. And that's why we've really, through the pandemic, fought so hard to get us through this. We can get through the other side of this. I really believe, as I said earlier, that New Jersey will come back even stronger. You can learn about these programs on the PPP side and at sba.gov, including the Restaurant Revitalization Fund. For their Shuttered Venues Operator Grant Program, it is now open and accepting applications. Again, you can go to sba.gov for information, or you can go to my website, which has links to many of these pages at gottheimer.house.gov/COVID-19. Think of it as a one-stop shop. Next question, for steps that was asked about, steps that business people can take in northern New Jersey to help themselves. Many businesses have done what is necessary to continue to operate throughout the crisis, closely following health guidelines, applying for federal and state aid when appropriate, and pivoting business lines as needed to help their communities weather the pandemic. I'd recommend maintaining the same level of vigilance as we progress out of the pandemic, as we work to make sure that progress continues and we don't lose any ground in our fight against COVID-19. It's so critically important. I believe that if we work together and we hold together, we will get through this. I know we can. I know we will. We live in the greatest country in the world. And I just really appreciate Building Bergen for inviting me, and for all your hard work, and for all the business leaders and organization leaders who are on the phone. Thank you so much for working so hard and for joining us on the Zoom today. And again, I really believe that if we stick together, our best days will always be ahead of us. So please stay safe and stay healthy, and let me know if there's anything I can do to be helpful to you. God bless.